Good day. This will be a fairly rapid walkthrough of the language that's been given to us from the Department of Education regarding online course expectations and how those have changed a little bit and what you need to be aware of. First of all, what we're going to talk about is something that's RSI, okay? That is going to be regular substantive interaction. So RSI, when you hear that abbreviation, that's what it stands for. And I'll describe what RSI actually means here. It primarily is about best practice for student learning. The DOE defines regular and substantive interaction in distance education as engaging students in teaching, learning, and assessment. And this occurs between students and instructors. Substantive interactions with machines or other forms of technologies that do not involve an instructor would therefore not qualify. RSI must also include at least two of the following: providing direct instruction, recorded lecture videos, recorded lecture audio clips, Flipgrid discussions, written discussion forums with lots of instructor activity, and instructor lecture notes with commentary. Okay. All right, the second thing we're going to have is assessing and providing feedback on student work. And then we have providing information or responding to questions about the content of a course or competency. Next, we have facilitating group discussions regarding the content of a course or competency. To ensure substantive interaction, we would suggest that instructors include the following in each course they teach: weekly announcements using the course announcement forum in the course, a Q&A forum at the beginning of each module each week. And that encourage students to use this instead of email. If a student emails the instructor, one can copy that email into the Q&A and respond there, so you have that record. A 1 hour a week scheduled chat session for students to have access to the instructor is required for completely online courses. Chat or collaborate also works. Okay, the times for each week and access method should be clearly posted in the syllabus and in the course. Okay, be sure each of these sessions remain in the course. Don't delete the sessions because we need that record. And then substantive instructor feedback on assignments in a timely manner, within 1 or 2 weeks of the due date at least. Okay, if you're using a third-party vendor like Cengage or something, you must have additional graded assignments and projects that you, the instructor, grade and give feedback on. A recommendation, at least 2 projects that consist of a substantial portion of the student's grade. Next, we go to substantial instructor participation in every forum used. For example, instructional responses given to students, corrective responses that you give to students, informational and socio-emotional responses that you give to students, and a thorough summative post in response to all students. And as it relates to this final list of suggestions for things one can do, you need not include each of these, as they are just good examples of ways to be compliant. So choose the ones that fit you best.